The Garden of Eden, often referred to as the Garden of Paradise, is a location mentioned in the Bible that has intrigued scholars, theologians, and historians for centuries. It is often assumed to have been a real and tangible place, and its exact whereabouts remain a mystery. The Garden of Eden is first mentioned in the book of Genesis, where it is described as a beautiful, lush, and abundant land that served as the home of Adam and Eve. According to the Bible, God created the Garden of Eden as a place of perfection and harmony, where Adam and Eve could live in perfect communion with God and their environment. However, this idyllic paradise was destroyed when Adam and Eve disobeyed God and were forced to leave. The biblical narrative of the Garden of Eden offers few clues as to its exact location, and there is much debate among scholars and theologians as to its whereabouts. Some believe that the Garden of Eden was located in the Middle East, possibly in the Tigris-Euphrates Valley in what is now modern-day Iraq. Others argue that the Garden of Eden may have been located in the Sinai Peninsula, or even in the Garden of Gethsemane in Jerusalem. The ancient Sumerians, who lived in the Tigris-Euphrates Valley, believed in a paradise that they called Dilmun. The Sumerians' paradise was a place of abundance and fertility, and some scholars believe that this was the Garden of Eden mentioned in the Bible. This theory has been further supported by evidence that suggests a link between the Sumerians and the ancient Hebrews, who were the authors of the Bible. However, the Bible does not explicitly state that the Garden of Eden was located in the Tigris-Euphrates Valley. In fact, the Bible mentions very few geographical details about the Garden of Eden. The only geographical reference it provides is that the Garden of Eden was located somewhere east of Eden, and that 4 rivers flowed from it. While many believe that it is a mythical place, there are some who believe that the Garden of Eden was actually located on Earth. Here are some reasons why some theorists believe that the Garden of Eden is on Earth. 1. Geographical evidence. The Garden of Eden is described in the Bible as being located in the Middle East, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This area is still populated today, and many of the same animals and plants that were present in the Garden of Eden still live in that region. 2. Historical evidence. There is evidence of ancient civilizations in the Middle East that could have been the source of the Garden of Eden story. The Sumerians and Akkadians, for example, both lived in the same area and had stories of a paradise-like garden. 3. Religious texts. Many religious texts, including the Bible, describe the Garden of Eden as being on earth. This could be seen as further evidence that the Garden of Eden was an actual place on earth. 4. Scientific evidence. Scientists have studied the area of the Middle East where the Garden of Eden is believed to have been located and have found evidence of an ancient civilization that could have been the source of the Garden of Eden story. The Garden of Eden and Rapture are 2 of the most significant religious concepts in the Judeo-Christian tradition. Both concepts are closely intertwined with the idea of salvation after destruction, since the Garden of Eden is often cited as the source of all human suffering and the cause of the need for salvation. The Garden of Eden is the biblical story of the beginning of human existence, when God first created Adam and Eve and placed them in a garden paradise. It is seen as a symbol of perfect innocence and harmony between man and God. But when Adam and Eve disobeyed God by eating the forbidden fruit, they were cast out of the garden and subjected to a life of suffering and death. The story of the Garden of Eden is a reminder of mankind's need for salvation and a symbol of the need for God's grace and mercy. Rapture is closely related to the Garden of Eden in that of salvation from suffering. The rapture is the last sign of the end of the world. God will take away His chosen people from the world to join Him in heaven. This will include those who have accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior, as well as those who have been faithful to God's commandments. The rapture is a way for God to free His chosen people from the suffering and death of this world and bring them to a better place. The relationship between the Garden of Eden and rapture is one of redemption and hope. The Garden of Eden is a reminder of mankind's need for salvation, and the rapture is the promise of salvation from this world's suffering and death. We are to be prepared and anxious for the second coming of Jesus Christ. The exact location of the Garden of Eden is a source of much debate and conjecture, and the question of its whereabouts is unlikely to be answered any time soon. However, what is certain is that the Garden of Eden was a place of beauty and abundance, and that it served as a home for Adam and Eve before their disobedience led to its destruction.